When the pads came on, things got real in the defensive trenches, whether it was speed and power off the edge or power from the inside as well. This defensive line is helping create chaos for this Matt Eberflus defense. Welcome into Inside Cowboys training camp, driven by Ford. Nicole Hutchison alongside Kyle Youmans, and this Dallas defense looks like they are certainly taking the steps in the right direction to make an improvement in 2025.
That's the big thing. The Cowboys have not been able to stop the run effectively, really, over the last decade and change. And Aaron White-Cotton, new defensive line coach for this Cowboys team, is taking it upon himself, along with defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus, to change that in 2025. And that starts with a lot of the young talent that Dallas added this offseason, taking a step forward and meshing with some of the veteran talent that either was already in Dallas or was added this offseason, such as Solomon Thomas, who's had a tremendous training camp so far. But when you pair guys like Jay Toia, a day 3 defensive tackle out of UCLA, meshing with Osa Odighizuwa, that 1 technique, 3 technique look, it looks even more imposing on a current offensive lineman than it ever has at this point in camp in the past. And then you add Donovan Ezeraku, Sam Williams off the edge, who have had great starts to their training camp, even without Micah Parsons in the fold. There's a lot to be excited about up front.
Yeah, Eberflus is known for getting the best out of his guys. Well, he's certainly starting to try and get the best out of Mazi Smith, who's looking to take a step in the right direction as well in 2025. Let's go ahead and hear what Mazi Smith had to say about how Eberflus has helped him take that step.
I just do what I'm told, brother. You know, I don't really, it ain't that much of an adjustment. I had a few different coordinators in college. You know, I did all my adjusting then. You know, now you just learn the scheme and do it to the best of your ability.
Where's your confidence at?
I mean, I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in what I can do. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say, like, I'm overconfident or underconfident. You know, I know what type of work, you know, you're supposed to put in to be confident. You know what I mean? You got to put in the work for the right things to show up. You know what I mean? So that's all it is.
You talk about how it benefits you as you're trying to level up this year, going up against guys like Tyler Smith on the other side of the line.
Yeah, T. Smith, yeah, he be grabbing, you know, he not holding necessarily, he grab you though, you know. It's great, you know, I feel like he the best guard in the league, you know. I don't really see nobody else, you know, as physical or as strong, powerful, explosive as he is off the line,
and
you know.
How can that help make you better as far as going in games? Because, I mean, granted,
iron sharpen iron, brother.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
you know, like, that's what I say. It ain't nobody about fast, as big, as strong as him coming off the line, and I'm going to see. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I ain't too, I'm chilling, you know what I mean? It's a good player.
Mazi Smith talking about how Tyler Smith is helping him. Iron sharpens iron, right? Helping him improve. But what have you seen from Mazi Smith so far that has impressed you or not?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You're going to love when former first-round picks pair together to have that type of teaching, that type of mentorship. The problem is Mazi Smith's running into year number 3 of being a first-round pick, and there was a lot invested in him early on. He's going to have to step up in a big way. We haven't necessarily seen that. We've seen other defensive tackles like Solomon Thomas, like Jay Toia, step up in place of Mazi Smith at different times. I want to see more solidified run-stuffing ability, able to clog up the middle, hold your ground against some of these offensive linemen. There are too many times where he's either being pushed backwards or he's on the ground. Stay on your feet, stay planted, and move forward. I think that's something that the coaching staff's trying to get out of him. Good thing is we're still not even a month out from the first football game of the season and of the regular season. He has time to continue to push, but time is running out for Mazi Smith.
Yeah, and talk about a guy who every day is really pivotal for him because you're starting to see Jay Toia start getting those first-team reps. What have you liked so far from Jay Toia?
I love what we've seen from Toia. One, because he's very even keel, very low-key across the board, but he's really good in the pass rush. He's shown the ability to get upfield and to challenge double teams, and then he's able to keep that size, that big body of his, the 310-plus pound rookie, still showing like a veteran early on in camp. I like what we've seen on the interior. Cowboys need more of that up front.
Well, the defensive line, the depth on the defensive line is looking to trend upward. Well, this offensive line is looking to do the same. The Cowboys have just added a new addition. We're breaking that down up next on Inside Cowboys Training Camp.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back into Inside Cowboys Training Camp, driven by Ford. Nicole Hutchison alongside Kyle Youmans, and a lot of roster moves as of today here at Oxnard, California. But the newest is a reunion with La'el Collins, an offensive tackle who also played guard as well. But just the new addition, what does this mean for this Dallas Cowboys offensive line?
Well, it means they needed some help up front. And, of course, he's not the only tackle they signed. They signed Garen Christian as well, another offensive tackle, to try and help some of those injuries on that offensive front. But getting La'el Collins back is exciting because, one, it brings back the memories of what was once a great offensive front, trying to bring in the veteran experience. Brian Schottenheimer talked about how that was a huge key. Plus, he looks good. The workout that they had on Friday was successful. Looked like he was moving around. Brian Schottenheimer even saying that he thinned out a little bit. He's going to wear the number 72, so it's going to look a little bit different than his first two stints in Dallas when he wore number 71. That currently belongs to Nate Thomas, who's fighting for the starting left tackle spot. But having La'el Collins back in the fold, he has a connection with Dak Prescott. He's been around this organization before. He understands how it works, so now he's able to bring that understanding and apply it to a young offensive front.
Yeah, and this is a guy who also worked out with Duke Manyweather, who's worked out with plenty of the Cowboys offensive linemen. But when you talk about the other roster moves, what kind of help does this bring for this Dallas Cowboys team?
Well, it brings help up front. They were able to waive injured Matt Waletzko, who's been dealing with an ankle injury. If he clears through waivers out of the other 31 teams in the NFL, he'll go and resort back to the injured reserve list for the Cowboys. So not a direct cut from Matt Waletzko, but certainly a wavering that you'll have to see how that plays out. And then they reserve injured Paris Campbell, the wide receiver who they signed to a one-year deal, spent some time with Philadelphia in the past. He was injured in that one of those early practices here in Oxnard, has been dealing with that knee injury for a little bit. They put him on the reserve list to clear those two roster spots where they added Collins and then they added Christian to bring into the fold, try and add some depth to that offensive line.
Well, there's going to be continued depth tests in all these positions, but the depth test that's passed so far is that tight end room. A lot of the young guys are standing out so far. We're going to break that down up next here on Inside Cowboys Training Camp.
This segment was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
We're back to wrap things up here on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, driven by Ford. Nicole Hutchison alongside Kyle Youmans, and this tight end room who has made some noise throughout camp so far. But the youngins are actually standing out the most. Who are those guys that look the best to you?
Well, I like some of the things we've seen from Princeton Fant. They call him Bull for a reason. He's a big-bodied, he's a blocking tight end, somebody that's been spending some extra time with the offensive tackles as well, trying to get those combo blocks right. We've seen some flash from Tyler Neville, the rookie out of Virginia, has had a couple big catches in team drills. He's been active in the drills with even Dak Prescott, Joe Milton, Will Grier at quarterback. So able to utilize him in the passing game might be something to watch out in the preseason. One guy I want to see more from, John Stevens. He's had some great camps in the past that have come to an end prematurely due to injury. He's had a rough camp so far. Has had some significant drops. He has the ability. He's just got to find it and get his head right moving into this second half of training camp.
Yeah, well, Brian Schottenheimer also sending a message for John Stevens that it's all mental for him.
Yep.
You know, he is coming off a season injury, two season-ending injuries, so definitely going to see some growth there. But that's a wrap here on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, driven by Ford. We'll be back here tomorrow.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.